In the 90-year history of professional basketball, no name echoes like Michael Jordan. He is the rare athlete who became a verb, a standard, a benchmark that every future superstar must measure up to. But to understand the overpowering presence he carried, you have to start before the trophies. Born in Brooklyn, raised in Wilmington, North Carolina, Jordan was not an overnight prodigy. He was cut from his high school varsity team as a sophomore, a wound that lit the fire inside him. That disappointment became fuel. Every doubted step, every overlooked jump shot, every sneaker squeak on a lonely court pushed him toward an impossible level. By the time he arrived at the University of North Carolina, his determination was already out of the ordinary. A freshman hitting a last-second jumper to win the national title. That was just the opening act. The NBA soon came calling, and when the Chicago Bulls selected him with the 3rd overall pick in 1984, nobody could have predicted a revolution. In just a few years, Jordan would transform a struggling franchise, a whole city, and eventually the world's idea of what one player could do. His playing style was a symphony of speed and power, a blend of aerial grace and ruthless scoring that had never been seen before. He took off from the free throw line, winked at the camera, and turned the slam dunk contest into a theatrical show. Yet the real magic came in the 4th quarter, when games hung in the balance and Jordan seemed to slow time itself. Breath. And he wasn't done. Not even close. The early years in Chicago were a masterclass in individual brilliance. Jordan took the league by storm, winning the Rookie of the Year award in 1985, and then exploding into one of the most explosive scorers basketball had ever seen. Night after night, he filled the box score with mind-boggling numbers, yet the playoffs became a wall of heartbreak. The Boston Celtics, led by Larry Bird, stopped him in 1986 and 1987, no matter how many points he piled up. Then came the Detroit Pistons, the infamous bad boys, who built a brutal defensive system around kicking, shoving, and double-teaming him without mercy. For 3 straight years, Detroit stood between Jordan and glory, but every defeat sharpened an obsession. Teammates like Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant grew into all-stars. Coach Phil Jackson brought a triangle offense and a zen-like calm, and Jordan, fueled by the doubters, turned his relentless work ethic into a nightly ritual. By the spring of 1991, the wall finally collapsed. Chicago swept the Pistons and then dismantled Magic Johnson's Lakers to win their first championship. The dynastic run had begun, but the numbers from those first 9 seasons reveal how dominant Jordan was even before the rings arrived. From 1984 to 1993, Michael Jordan wore the Chicago Bulls jersey in 667 games. During those 9 seasons, he scored 21,541 points, a monster total that made the league forget every previous scoring machine. That era also gave us the first three-peat, the dynasty rising from the ashes of defeat. In the summer of 1993, tragedy struck. Jordan's father, James, was murdered in a roadside robbery. The loss devastated Jordan, and in October of that year, at the peak of his powers, he shocked the world by announcing his retirement from basketball. He signed a minor league baseball contract, chasing a dream his father had always encouraged. But baseball was never his game. After a season of struggle and a strange year at the plate, Jordan realized his heart still belonged to the hardwood. He announced, "I'm back," in March 1995. The world held its breath as he wore number 45, trying to recapture the magic. But that season ended in disappointment with a loss to the Orlando Magic in the playoffs. Critics whispered that he had lost a step. Jordan heard every whisper, and the fire inside him roared back to life. That summer, he trained with a fury that made his teammates uneasy. And when the 1995-96 season tipped off, he unleashed something unprecedented. After his first comeback, Jordan played 263 more games for the Bulls from 1995 to 1998. He added 1,736 points to his legacy and led Chicago to a second three-peat, including a perfect 72-10 season and 6 NBA titles in 8 years. After a dramatic second retirement in 1999, Jordan once again left the spotlight, this time to take a front office role with the Washington Wizards. As president of basketball operations, he was expected to rebuild a struggling franchise. But the competitor in him couldn't stay away from the court. In 2001, at age 38, Jordan announced he would return to play for Washington, donating his salary to relief efforts after the September 11 attacks. Fans packed arenas one last time to see the legend move, some laughing at the missed dunks, others marveling at the still honest jump shot. He wore the Wizards jersey with pride, but also with a heavy kind of nostalgia, knowing every game could be his last. Injuries took their toll, and the final seasons were more about mentorship than milestones. Yet even at nearly 40, he showed glimpses of the old magic, a crossover, a fadeaway, a game-winning shot that made you forget his age. At age 38, Jordan made a surprising NBA comeback with the Washington Wizards. From 2001 to 2003, he played 142 games and scored 3,015 points, proving that even at nearly 40, his talent was still rarefied air. His final season ended with a standing ovation, a final curtain call for the game's greatest actor. The final chapter of Jordan's life is not written on the court, but in the boardroom and beyond. He became one of the world's most successful sports entrepreneurs, his Jordan brand generating billions of dollars. He bought the Charlotte Hornets, making history as the first former NBA player to become a majority owner of a franchise. In the Hall of Fame, his induction speech was pure Jordan, emotional, competitive, and unforgettable. Alongside LeBron James and Kobe Bryant, he remains the benchmark for greatness, but his impact goes deeper than wins and losses. He taught us that failure is simply a stepping stone for those who refuse to quit. The shrug after a finals three-pointer, the tears after the trophy ceremony, the 6 straight championships that crowned 2 three-peats, all of it is part of a story that redefined what it means to be a champion. Michael Jordan's legacy isn't measured in numbers alone, numbers that still astound us today. It's measured in the generations of players who grew up wanting to fly, to wear number 23, to say, "I'm like Mike." And that's a legend that will never retire.